Hi guys, it's Gabe from the Salem High News, and today we're here with Ms DeStefano, and we're gonna interview her about some things because she's new to the school. Would you like to say hi to everyone?
Sure. Good morning, everyone. I'm Ms DeStefano, and I am the new principal of Salem High School. I'm excited to be here today and to be interviewed by Gabe and the Salem High News staff.
All right, so we have a few questions for you from our fellow students here over Salem High. So are you ready?
Absolutely. I'm ready.
Of course, we're gonna edit this part. You're not gonna.
Is it better if we hold the mic here so they can hear both of us? It's better to talk to the mouth? Okay.
So, Mr. Stefano, okay, would you like to give us some background information about you? Like, where did you go to teach before going here at Salem High?
Sure. So this is my 22nd year working as a public school educator. I spent the first 15 years of my career working at Everett High School in Everett, Massachusetts. I was a history teacher for 10 years, and then the last 5 years I was there, I was a dean of students, so a position similar to like with Miss Mullen and Mr. Flynn do. Then I spent the last 6 years at Beverly High School as an assistant principal there. A little bit about me, I'm from Everett, that's where I grew up. I was a graduate of Everett High School, so when I went back to start teaching, I went back to my alma mater. I just moved to the North Shore about 3 years ago to Danvers, and I am the mother of 2 high school students myself, and I spend lots and lots of time doing high school stuff.
So when you first started as teaching in Everett, did you ever see yourself down the road becoming a principal or?
So I think it took a long time when I started teaching to envision myself as becoming an administrator, because a lot of times when you're first teaching, you look at what principals and assistant principals do, and a lot of teachers think I would never want to do that because some of it's not as much fun as being in the classroom with kids. But over time, I decided that in the classroom, you have the opportunity to affect your students, but if you go into administration at the building level, you have an opportunity to affect more students positively. So those were some of the things that made me want to become an administrator. This is my first year as a principal. I've never been a principal before, and it's a really, really big job. And I'm learning more and more about that every day. But I'm really excited and a little nervous, you can imagine, to get started. But so far, all the students and staff at Salem High have been really welcoming and really supportive. And I think I made a good decision coming to be here with you all.
Second question. Okay. So I know, I'm scared. So, Mr. Stefano, what are your goals what are the goals you want to accomplish here in Salem High? Like, what are the things you want to change here in Salem High?
So I'm glad that you asked that. As a new principal, it's hard to decide what changes to make because I still have to learn about what's going on here. It wouldn't be fair for me to try to change too many things without learning about what's actually going on. So one of the things that I'm focusing on this year in my first year is to work on improving school culture and community to make Salem High School a place where kids are happy to come to learn every day and teachers are happy to come and teach every day. So one of the things that I've been working with my administrative team on to help make that happen is the We Are Salem campaign. And you can see we've got our banner here in the main office. So one of the things that I'm hoping is to make us as a community a stronger community where everybody feels like there's a place for them and where everyone can feel included and part of the culture of the school. So one of the ways that I'm trying to work on that is through the use of social media. I've got, as a principal, I have a principal Twitter, a principal Instagram, and also a Facebook page that I'm sure you could provide the students with the addresses to follow, right? Like as a little graphic or something. Yeah. Okay. I just started the Instagram this year as principal in mid-July, and I already have over 150 followers, a lot of whom are students, so that's exciting. And what I'm doing is I'm using the hashtag #WeAreSalem to sort of tag all the things that are related to positive school culture and, just good, exciting things that are going on around the building. And I've asked my staff to use that too. So if you are a club advisor or if you are a coach for a team or even, classroom teachers, when they see good things going on in their classroom, if they would share that on social media and use the hashtag so that we can kind of promote awareness. Because one of the things that I think is that there are lots and lots of good things going on at Salem High, but sometimes the community doesn't know it. Because they don't know all the good stuff if we don't tell them, right? News likes to focus on things sometimes that are, negative or not the best. But I want us to sort of tell our story to the community. What does it mean to be a student at Salem High? What does it mean to be a teacher here? And, how positive and great that can be. So that's one of the things I'm working on. And I hope to get more and more people participating in that.
Sounds great. Looks like Ms. DeStefano is pretty popular. She already has 150 followers. You think maybe we can start school like a little later, like at 9 o'clock?
I'm not a morning person myself, and the last school I worked at, Beverly, didn't start until 8:15. So the 7:24 start time is an adjustment for me as well. So I understand. Unfortunately, those decisions are way over my head. Those are things that get decided by the school committee and the city government. So I understand what you're saying, but that one's over my head.
Okay, next question. Oh, you like this one.
Oh, boy.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. This is a pretty heavy hitting question.
Okay.
What's your favorite ice cream flavor?
This is one that would require a lot of thought because I really, really like ice cream. Right now, I would say my favorite is the peanut butter chocolate that they sell at Cherry Farm down the street from where I live in Danvers. It's really good.
Looks like Mr. Stefano has a sweet tooth. I myself, I don't like ice cream. It makes me fat. Wait, okay, next question would be, of course, we're going to edit this. Okay, this one is another heavy-hitting question. Will take a lot of thought. Would you rather have super speed or super strength?
I'm going to say super speed because sometimes as a principal, I feel like I need to be in 5 different places at once. And if I could super speed from the cafeteria to my office to the 3rd floor to the lobby, that would be pretty cool.
Sounds great. I don't have any follow-up questions for that. Oh. Okay, this one. This is more of a serious one.
Oh, okay. Change my thought.
So, what are small changes that are coming to Salem High, i.e. Oh. Okay, wait. This doesn't make sense. Okay. What are small changes coming to Salem High? Like, now that we can wear hats in the hallways and the classrooms, what made you decide that you would say yes to that?
Okay, so I have spent the last 6 years in Beverly and then 5 years before that as sort of an assistant principal dean where I was dealing with student behavior all the time. And some of the things that I've come to learn over that time is that sometimes when you trust students with a little bit more freedom, they'll rise to the occasion and behave properly. And sometimes when you have too many rules that are really sort of limiting, I think that a lot of times kids have a hard time dealing with that and they might tend to sort of rebel. And one of the things I'm looking at is, the main reason that we're here at school is for academics and academic performance. And although there are lots of things about students' behavior that can make it difficult in the functioning of a school, I really wanted to focus our energies on behaviors and rules that would impact learning. And personally, I don't believe that you having a hat in the hallway impacts your learning. So I would rather ask my assistant principals and my staff to focus more on things that impact students' learning, things like being on your cell phone in class, being wandering the halls so that you're missing class time, or just being disruptive in the classroom. So what I'm hoping to do is that we can focus our energies on the things that impact education. And last year at Beverly, the principal allowed the students to wear hats and hoods in the hallway and in the classroom if it was okay with the teacher. You know, it is always the teacher's discretion to decide what makes the most sense for their learning environment. But it kind of took a big stress off of some of the administrators and some of the teachers who were always asking kids, you know, take off your hat, take off your hat. And it wasn't really something that we were getting a return on in terms of academic performance. So I would rather see us focus our energy on things that are going to help us do better academically. And personally, I just don't feel like hats and hoods are something that impact a student's ability, especially if it's when they're filing in the hallways.
Looks like a lot of students are gonna like our new principal. Okay.
You need a tripod or something.
Okay. So, what are the major changes that are coming to Salem High? Like, I heard that freshmen are gonna get laptops, and there's gonna be a new grading system.
So the one-to-one Chromebook program is a major change here at Salem High, and it's something that we're very excited to be beginning this year. This year we are beginning with the freshman class, where every student will be provided with a Chromebook that they can use both in school and outside of school. Mr. Chamberlain, who is our Director of Digital Learning, is working very hard right now with Ms. O'Keefe, the librarian, to get all of the laptops received and ready to be distributed. We're hoping that that's going to impact student engagement and help kids to interact with content in a new way. The plan is that going forward next year, every student would be provided with a Chromebook. So it's piloting this year with ninth graders and then rolling out to the whole student body next year. And that's something that I'm lucky enough to sort of have come upon in progress. This is a work and initiative that was started last year and in the years before under the leadership of Mr. Angioramo. So this is something that's been going on, and I'm just fortunate enough that I got to come in as it was beginning its implementation phase. In terms of grading, we're looking more at making some adjustments to our teachers' practices in teaching. It may ultimately turn into some differences in grading, but right now we're asking teachers to do things like review their curriculum and align it with the specific standards that they should be teaching, and to be designing their assignments and assessments so that they align with those standards. So I wouldn't expect major changes to grading right now. That might be more of a long-term process, but we are trying to take a look at what we teach and why we choose what to teach. And that's part of the work that we're going to be doing this year in faculty professional development under the leadership of our new academic dean, Dr. Flores, who replaced Mr. Wolf. So these are all things that have been in progress before I came on board, but that we're going to be able to start moving into sort of the reality phase now.
So, who is funding this Chromebook project?
That's a really great question. My understanding is that the funding is coming from the city and the school department, and it's funding that they have acquired through some new tax bases in the city. So some new agreements that the city worked out with local businesses where there's some tax money that we'll be getting, and that the city and the school department have dedicated it to go to the Chromebook. So it's an investment that the taxpayers and leaders of Salem have made in the students of Salem High School. So that's really powerful, because that means they, trust us that we're going to be doing a good job, and we have to show them that we appreciate the investment that they're making in our school.
Okay, next question.
Who wrote these questions? I know. It's like you've
Just-
never seen them before.
What are some problems with the way the school is run? Yeah, like something that you see. Like, do you have something to say about that?
I can
Yeah.
say something that. Yeah. Ask it again. So he's got it.
Oh, of course, yeah. So, Mr. Stefano, do you see any problems again?
Take two.
So, Mr. Stefano, do you see any problems with how the school is being run?
So, as I said before, I have a lot of just learning and observing to do this year as a new principal. I am finding that there's some room for us to create procedures and policies in terms of building maintenance and sort of operational things that I think we could streamline. When it comes to things like ordering supplies or requesting repairs, I'm hoping to take a look at some of those systems and try to streamline them in a way that's more efficient and more effective for people. But I still have a lot of learning to do. So we're at the beginning stages of that. But I'm hoping that by the end of the year, I'll have learned enough that we can start making some changes to how we do things that will make Salem High School a better place for teachers to work and do their jobs, and a better place for kids to come and learn.
Well, I really hope we get better bathrooms. All right. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much, Mr. Stefanos, for making time for us in your very hectic schedule. Is there anything you'd like to say to our people as a goodbye?
Go Witches!